24F00479. And may I inform the viewers and back members that DO 24F00 ay contract ID number 24F00372 ay meron pong pagbabago sa project name and ABC. However, yung 24F00478 meron po siyang pagbabago sa project name, ABC, and major category work. And another one is the contract ID number 24F00479. Ang pagbabago niya ay yung project name and ABC and major category work. So, before we start, I would like to inform the viewer and the viewer online that we before we start, we have to establish quorum, and also for surely there is a visitor from the chairman, the chairperson of the back, and also chief of the Executive Management Division, and we have her engineer Benjamin G. Jr., the first, and also the chief of the assistant vice chairperson, back vice chairperson, and also the chief of the quality assurance and hydrology division. And we have her, tatawag lang parang po dito ngayon, si Engineer, si Madam Dr. Maria Tudora P. Rosando. Also, the back of number, and also the chief of the administrative division. And nandiyan sa harapan ko na ngayon, lumalay ko sa akin yung back assistant DPWH to the assistant chief AMD, assistant chief AMD. And also the computer science engineer Diana D. Renis is also TW member from AMD. So, Yanni, if you could please give us the details and previous conference guidelines for this contract IDs.
Project ID 24F00288 is the Convergence and Special Support Program, Special Road Fund, Motor Vehicle Users Charge, as per RA 1129, road safety devices along national roads and bridges, installation of solar street lights along the Maharlika LZ-A0555 plus 699-A0571 plus 556 Castilla and Sorsogon City, Sorsogon, First Degree Statistics. Project ID number 24F00372, Convergence and Special Support Program, Special Road Fund Motor Vehicle Users Charge as per RA 11239, installation of street lights for the illumination of various roads, networks, barangays in Legazpi City and Daraga, Albay, Bonot-Bogtong-Boundary, Tagas, Bogtong-Pawa, Liñgon Hill Road, Puro-Taysan-Mariawa-Mayon Road, Estanza, Tula-Tula Road, Puro-Taysan-Mariawa-Mayon Road, Barangay San Roque, Calle City, Daraga and Legazpi City, Albay, 2nd Legislative District. Project ID number 24F00478, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program VIP, Multipurpose Buildings, Facilities to support social services, construction of multipurpose training and instruction facility meetings, incentives, conferences for education and sports building, MICES, Liban Albay, 3rd Legislative District. And lastly, 24F00479, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program VIP, Multipurpose Buildings, Facilities to support social services, construction of multipurpose training and instruction facility meetings, incentives, conferences for education and sports building, MICES, Albay, 3rd Legislative District. For the eligibility requirements, eligibility of prospective bidders is determined using the Civil Works Application or CWA, which electronically processes the compliance to the Class A documents such as the legal, technical, and financial documents. Prospective bidders are encouraged to regularly on the following requirements. For Class A documents, under the legal documents, number 1, registration certificate from SEC for corporate organizations, DPI for sole proprietorship, or CPA for cooperatives. Number 2, mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of the prospective bidder is located or the equivalent document for exclusive economic zones or areas. In cases of recently expired mayor's or business permits, the official receipts that the bidder has applied for renewal within the period prescribed by the concerned local government unit shall be accepted in updating the Philippines Platinum Registration, which is also deemed temporarily expired per GPTV Resolution Number 3 Series of 2021. The updated PhilJobs registration shall be submitted in the technical document component of the bid to be considered eligible. The renewed mayor's or business permit shall also be submitted as a post-qualification requirement in accordance with Section 34.2 of the IRR of RA 9184. The same shall apply to the other Class A eligibility documents. Number 3, tax clearance for Executive Order 398 Series of 2005 as finally reviewed and approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. For technical documents, number 4, statement of the prospective bidder of all its completed and ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. Number 5, statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided for in Section 23.4.2.4 of the IRR of RA 9184. All of the above statements, 4 and 5, shall include all information required in the PDs prescribed by the GPT. The prospective bidder must have completed an SLCC that is similar to the contract to be bid, and whose value adjusted to current price using the PSA consumer price indices must at least be 50% of the ABC to be bid, provided, however, that contractors under small A and small B categories without similar experience on the contract to be bid may be allowed to bid if the cost of such contract is not more than the allowable range of contract costs of their registration based on the guidelines as prescribed by the PICA. Moreover, a contract shall be considered similar to the contract to be bid if it has the same major categories of work. The procuring entity may clarify in the bidding documents what is regarded as major categories of work. For the entire DPWH, determination of major categories of work are defined in Department Order 117 Series of 2017. The SLCC shall be supported by an owner's certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor or a final rating of at least satisfactory the constructor's performance evaluation system or CPES. In case of contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. Number 6, under technical documents, the valid Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PCAB license or special PCAB license in case of joint ventures and registration for the type and cost for the contract to be bid. Under financial documents, number 7 is the prospective bidder's audited financial statements showing among others the prospective bidder's total and current assets and liabilities, stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. Number 8, the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity or NFCC. The computation of a prospective bidder's NFCC must be at least equal to the ABC to be calculated as follows. NFCC should equal to the quantity of the current assets minus the current liabilities times 15 minus the value of all outstanding or uncompleted portions of the projects under ongoing contracts, including awarded contracts yet to be started, coinciding with the contract to be bid. The values of the domestic bidder's current assets and current liabilities shall be based on the latest audited financial statements submitted to the BIR. For Class B documents, joint venture bidders shall submit a JVA in accordance with RA 4566 and its IRR. Each partner of the joint venture shall submit the respective PhilJobs certificates of registration in accordance with Section 8.5.2 of the IRR of RA 9184. The submission of technical and financial eligibility documents by any of the joint venture partners constitute compliance, provided that the partner responsible to submit the NFCC shall likewise submit a statement of all its ongoing contracts and audited financial statements. If joint venture agreement must be submitted, and the bid security as applicable, or the bid securing declaration. Here is the sample format of bid securing declaration, and it must be notarized. The BSD shall contain the contract ID number, the name of the contract, the location of the project, and must be addressed to the Department of Public Works and Highways, Regional Office 5, Old Airport Road, Barangay 40 Estanza, Legazpi City. And must contain the following statements. We or I blank declare that number 1, we or I understand that according to your conditions, bids must be supported by a bid security in the form of a bid securing declaration. Number 2, we or I accept that we or I will be automatically disqualified from bidding for any contract in any procurement within 3 years upon receipt of your blacklisted order. And we or I will pay the applicable fine provided under Section 6 of the guidelines of the use of bid securing declaration. Within 15 days from receipt of the written demand by the procuring entity for the commission of acts resulting to the enforcement of the bid securing declaration under Section 33.1b, 34.2, 14.1, and 69.1, except 69.1f of the IRR of RA 9184, without further discovery legal action the government may undertake. Section 23.1b refers to the Class B document or joint venture agreement. Section 34.2 refers to the submission of documents within 5 calendar days, including number 1, updated SEC or DPI registration, whichever is applicable. Number 2, updated mayor's or business permit. Number 3, valid tax clearance. Number 4, valid pickup license. Number 5, latest income and business tax returns, together with the corresponding audited financial statements stamped received by BIR. Number 6, updated dealerships registration. Number 7, NFCC. Section 40.1 refers to the failure, refusal, or inability to submit documents required under Section 37.1, the failure to enter into contract with DPWH, or the failure to post performance security. Section 69.1 includes letter A, submission of eligibility requirements containing false information or falsified documents. Letter B, submission of bids that contain false information or falsified documents, or the concealment of such information in the bids in order to influence the outcome of eligibility screening, or any other stage of the competitive bid. Letter C, allowing the use of one's name or using the name of another for purposes of competitive bidding. Letter D, withdrawal of a bid, or refusal to accept an award or enter into contract with the government without justifiable cause after he had been adjudged as having submitted the lowest calculated responsive bid or highest rated responsive bid. Letter E, refusal or failure to post the required performance security within the prescribed time. Letter F is the exception. Letter G, refusal to clarify or validate in writing its bid during post-qualification within a period of 7 calendar days from receipt of the request for clarification. Letter H, and documented attempt by a bidder to unduly influence the outcome of the bidding in his favor. And letter I, all other acts that tend to defeat the purpose of the competitive bidding, such as habitually withdrawing from bidding, submitting late bids, or patently insufficient bid, for at least 3 times within a year except for valid reasons. And the third statement for the BSD is that we or I understand that the bid securing declaration shall cease to be valid at the following circumstance. Letter A, upon expiration of the bid validity period, or any extension thereof pursuant to your request. Letter B, we or I are declared ineligible or post-disqualified upon receipt of your notice to such effect, and we or I fail to timely file a request for reconsideration, or we or I file a waiver to avail of said right. Letter C, we or I are declared as a bidder with the lowest calculated and responsive bid, and we or I have furnished the performance security and signed the contract. In witness whereof, we or I have hereunto set my hand this indicate the date and the place to the name and the signature of the affiant. For the technical requirements, first, the duly signed organizational chart. The duly signed list of key personnel for the contract with supporting affidavits of commitment to work on the contract by the key personnel or the accredited selected project engineers subject to BO-118 series of 2024. With the subject guidance on the accreditation and assignment of contractors and consultants project engineers. And BO-98 series of 2016, which is the revised guidelines on the accreditation of contractors, consultants, materials engineers. The duly signed list of contractors' major construction and laboratory equipment pledged to the contract, the omnibus form statement. For financial requirements, the duly signed bid form, where all pages must have signature box in the standard format of the bid form. The duly signed bill of quantities including summary of bid prices, the duly signed initial detailed estimates, or the duly signed cash flow by party. Further instructions and clarifications on the submission of technical and financial documents. For those who wish to use the bid securing declaration as bid security, use the new format for Department Memorandum Circular 85 Series of 2020, uploaded in the PhilJobs and DPWH websites. Similarly, use the uploaded new omnibus form statement format that contains a lending clause pertaining to the declaration of non-inclusion in the blacklist and an additional declaration as cost and pertaining to the advance pledge. Prospective bidders are required to use the appropriate and correct format of the omnibus form statement pertaining to the authority of the signatory according to the type of the business organization. Examples include proprietorship, corporate, cooperative, or joint venture. Failure to do so will be treated as a misdeclaration by the prospective bidder and will be a ground for the non-compliance of the bidder. Prospective bidders are reminded of the provision in the invitation to bid that the equipment capacity as specified in the bid data sheet shall be mandatory, and absence of the same shall disqualify the contractor. All requirements stated in the bid data sheet are mandatory. Hence, in the same manner that items of work and the corresponding quantities involved are fixed and mandatory in the bill of quantities, the type of equipment, the respective capacities, and number of units required are also mandatory in the list of equipment pledged for the contract. Failure of the prospective bidder to state a complete technical description of the pledged equipment and the specific location by their own lease or under purchase agreement shall result in the bidder's automatic post-disqualification and forfeiture of the bid security. The TWG shall conduct inspection on the pledged equipment as to their availability and efficiency. Equipment pledged for one awarded project shall not be pledged to another project bid out on the same date or immediate date after the bidding of the awarded project. Equipment pledged on several projects bid out on the same date, wherein the bidder is potentially the winner of these projects, will be ground for the bidder's post-disqualification in the other projects. Review documents to be submitted to avoid ineligibility and non-compliance of bid. Check the validity of permits, licenses, registrations, and clearances. Check the completeness as to form and substance of the bid security, affidavits, declarations, and other notarized documents. Use the new bid form for infrastructure GPPB Resolution number 16-2020 and circularized in the DPWH to the BO-85 series of 2020. All entries required in the bill of quantities, such as those for the unit price in words and figures, and the total price for the item for both lump sum and non-lump sum items of work, should be properly filled up. Absence of any of the said required entries will be ground for non-compliance finding on the bid and shall be considered violation under BO number 28 series of 2024 or the 3-strike policy in the procurement of infrastructure goods and consulting services contracts. Absence of signature on any page of the bill of quantities and the bid form qualify as one of the violations contemplated in BO 28 series of 2024. Provision of excessive OCMs, profits, and taxes in the detailed estimates shall not be considered as ground for this disqualification of the bid. However, the TWG shall make corrections on the bid, incorporating therein the correct percentages amounts for the indirect costs for Section 32 of the IRR of RA 9184 and DO 28 series of 2024. The resulting total shall be considered as the corrected bid. Award shall be made to the submitted bid price or its calculated and corrected bid price, whichever is lower. Lump sum cost in the bill of quantities must be supported with detailed cost estimate showing the direct and indirect costs including funds. provision of overhead contingencies and miscellaneous or OCM for special items under the general requirements and facilities for the engineer shall not be accepted. Discounts offered in handwritten text in the bid form should be signed or initialed by the authorized managing officer who is authorized to sign the bid documents. Otherwise, the discount will not be accepted. Erasures, interlineation of writing, and alterations in any document should likewise be signed or initialed by the authorized managing officer. Brief explanations and the criteria for eligibility screening, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, and post-qualification. Process and criteria for eligibility processing shall be in accordance with sections 23.1 and 23.4.2 of the revised IRR of RA 9184 and a contract profile based on DO 117 series of 2017, revised guidelines for the determination of major and similar categories of work. Electronic eligibility processing for the civil works application shall be conducted simultaneously or ahead of the opening of the technical documents, depending on the consistency of the network connectivity of the CWP. Preliminary examination of bids shall be conducted in accordance with Section 30 of the revised IRR of RA 9184. Bids that fail to include any requirement from the bidding checklist or are incomplete or patently insufficient shall be considered as failed. The detailed evaluation of bids shall be in accordance with Section 32 of the revised IRR of RA 9184. Post-qualification shall be conducted in accordance with Rule 10 post-qualification of the IRR of RA 9184 and the provisions of the revised IRR of RA 9184 DPWH Procurement Manual Volume 2 for infrastructure shall be prepared. Instructions on the purchase of bidding documents. Only the owner of the firm or the authorized representatives named in the CRC shall be allowed to transact business relative to bidding matters or purchase bidding documents per DO 176 series of 1998 and as reiterated in DO 197 series of 2001. Those representatives not included in the CRC are required to submit SPA or Secretary Certificate which represents the authorized representatives issued with SPA or Secretary Certificate shall be required to present two valid government IDs and a printout copy of the document requested from the Philippines posting of the contract to be bid showing the name of their construction firm. The back secretariat will not be responsible for the failure of the bidder to bring the bidding document in time, for the bid dropping due to late arrival, delayed processing of the order of payment, collection order, and late payment of the bidding documents. Loss of the order of payment and supporting documents already released or issued by the back secretariat is not the responsibility of the back secretariat. Only the signatory may cancel and revise the duly signed letter of authority to purchase bid documents. Bidding documents payments made for cancelled projects due to no funds approved or released and for the separate modification and for late release projects that have already exceeded the 3-month period forward are non-refundable as a matter of policy of the DPWH Regional Office Staff. Follow the checklist of the technical and financial document requirements included in the bidding documents for the contract to be bid at. Absence of any required documents shall be considered as failure of compliance on the required document and non-compliance of the bid. Chronologically arranged documents in accordance with the checklist for the technical and financial documents, providing exact information and security by the documents. Affix initial on all the pages of the documents. The initials on the pages together with the pagination affirm the authenticity of the pages that they are indeed part of the submitted bid documents. Submit the duly signed original and non-machine copy of the bid documents. Machine copies of the documents must be from the original. Place the original technical document in an envelope and securely seal it. Put a marking on the envelope containing the following text: original technical document, the name of the bank chairman, and the name and address of the procuring entity, the contract ID, and the name of the project, and indicate not open before 10 a.m. of December 16, 2024. Do the same for the original financial documents and put both the original technical and financial envelopes into one outer envelope. Label the outer envelope as original bid, including the other text for the marking. Do the same above procedures for the copy by marking the envelopes as copy 1 for the technical and financial envelopes as well as the outer envelope. Place the envelopes labeled original bid and copy 1 in one mother envelope, and put the marking containing the texts, name of the back chairman and the name and address of the procuring entity, the contract ID and name of the project, and indicate do not open before 10 a.m. of December 16, 2024. All prospective bidders must submit one mother envelope containing 2 outer envelopes. The first outer envelope contains the original technical and financial documents, and the second outer envelope containing the machine copy of the technical documents and financial documents. Other important matters, prospective bidders are encouraged to conduct site inspection for them to determine whether this is the right project for them. Decisions of the bank amending any provision of the bidding documents shall be issued in writing through a supplemental bid bulletin at least 7 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of the bids. Minutes of the bidding conference will be posted at the bulletin board, and prospective bidders are encouraged to read the minutes. Prospective bidders are also encouraged to register the postings in the Philippines DPWH websites to keep themselves abreast of the supplemental bid bulletins that may be issued by the bank. Prospective bidders are also encouraged to purchase bidding documents ahead of the bid drawing schedule. Prospective bidders keep or submit copies of their valid and updated PRC licenses and accreditation, whichever is applicable. And lastly, possible causes of failure of bidding are: number 1, no bids are received; number 2, all prospective bidders are declared ineligible; number 3, all bids fail to comply with all the bid documents or fail post qualification; or number 4, the bidder with the lowest calculated response bid refuses without justifiable cause to accept the award of contract, and no award is made in accordance with Section 40 of the Act and its IRR. That is all for the eligibility requirements.
Thank you very much, Backmovers, and do we have any viewer for this private conference? So thank you. So this is the end of the private conference for those mentioned contract IDs, and this is we hear already the guidelines for this private conference. So thank you very much. So this